Hello, I'm Viggy Parhampton, and welcome to Tag Team Tales of Terror, where another horror author and I work together to create something short and diabolical. Today, I have tagged Gage Greenwood. Besides being the fearless leader of Dreadpop, Gage is the best-selling author of the Winter's Myth saga, Bunker Dogs, On a Clear Day You Can See Block Island, and his newest release, In the Eyes in the Shadows. He's been an actor, comedian, podcaster, and even the vice president of an escape room company. So I think it's fair to say he's got the chops to help me tell one hell of a story. Welcome, Gage.
How are you?
I'm good. I know that was kind of a long intro, but tell me what I missed.
No, that pretty much covered it. I will say though, I don't know that I have the chops to tell a story in
Yes,
real
you do.
time.
You absolutely do. Well, should we go ahead and get into the rules?
Yeah.
Okay. So, Tag Team Tales of Terror is a progressive story. We will alternate telling bits of the story until we reach some satisfying conclusion. So, we'll each get 30 seconds before we switch. So, I will have a timer and just keep your eye on that in the corner. And then I'll have a prompt that I draw from a hat to get us started. And because you're my guest, you get to go first, which I'm sorry, I think that is the harder job. If you want a pen and paper to jot things down, feel free to grab that. And we're aiming for 10 minutes, but if it goes longer, that's fine. It's a little shorter, that's fine. And then after putting you through that, I have a little surprise for you. So,
I'm gonna say he was dead the whole time, every time.
well, whichever way the story goes, that is fine with me. I'm just excited and nervous. I mean, I've already done this before, but I'm still a little bit nervous.
Yes, it's scary to do this.
No, it's improv. It's
I have
improv.
I have an editor buffer between my stories.
Yeah, I always read my things several times before anybody else ever does. So yeah, it's hard, but we're gonna do it, and we are in this together.
Yes, you got this.
Okay, so are you ready? I'm about to pull my prompt from my hat.
I love the hat.
Thank you. Okay, here we go. Let's see what we got. Deep sea dive gone wrong.
Oh my lord.
Okay, tell me when you're ready, and I will start the timer then.
Yeah, give me like 10 seconds here.
Take what time you need.
Um, okay.
Okay, here we go. Starting the timer. And go.
I pulled out my GoPro and aimed it at a fish, and it swam away, startled by my quick movements. So I chased after it, going a little deeper, and a little deeper. And then I stopped and looked up, suddenly unaware how far down I'd gone.
As I looked up, my eye caught the very top of what I thought was some sort of sail. But that couldn't be right. I was, at this point, hundreds of feet underwater, and I quickly looked at my dive computer, and it showed me that I had barely 30 minutes left of oxygen. I'd gotten so distracted by that beautiful fish that I had not even realized how fast time was flying. And then, as I looked towards the top of that sail, I followed my gaze down and saw an entire sailing ship that looked only recently like it had sunk.
With the time ticking and me not sure how far down I'd gone, I couldn't explore, but I had to. This is what I was here for, to see under the water, to see all of the magic and mystery. So I went down just a little bit more to look at that sail, to look at that ship. But then I saw something coming out of it.
At first, I thought it was the beautiful fish that had led me so far down here, but as I looked closer, I realized the colors were wrong. And then I realized that the shape was wrong. And lastly, I realized the size was wrong. And as it started coming out of what I thought had once been a porthole, it came towards me with movement that was also wrong. And it didn't take me too long after that to realize that this was no fish at all.
Fear struck me. My heart started pounding. I worried about my oxygen levels. and I realized there was no more exploring in store for me. So I started swimming up, up, up. But then I wasn't sure I was going up at all.
So
It was clear.
I realized that I wasn't going up because my fin had snagged on, I'm not sure what it was, if it was a net or if it was a piece of sail. I really hoped it was a net or a piece of sail, but as I looked down to see what was preventing me from leaving, I saw that a cold, pale, fleshy hand had wrapped itself around my ankle and was starting to pull me down. Whether or not I wanted to explore this wreck, it looked like I was going to. And it also didn't seem to matter that I only had 26 minutes left of oxygen. And if I was lucky, that would get me to the surface if I left right now.
I kicked and kicked, but the hand wouldn't let go. At first, I thought it was gripping my ankle, but as I stuck my fingers between his fingers and my ankle, I realized that it was a bracelet that the corpse was wearing had stuck to my foot. I managed to peel it off just in time, looked up, and went to swim away when I realized that my suit was ripped open.
As the cold water started pouring against my skin, I realized that I probably was not going to make it out of here alive. And as that realization dawned on me, there was grief, there was horror, yes, but there was also a sense of wonder because at this point I had nothing left to lose. I wasn't going to make it out of here, so I might as well explore one of the coolest things I had ever found deep sea diving in my entire life.
So I went down. I started exploring the ship, and I thought to myself, at least this will be my legacy. I will have this video that someone will find. There are people up there on the boat waiting for me, and they'll come looking. It'll be too late, but we'll have something excellent for them to see. So I went in further to the top of the boat when I realized that the hand that had grabbed me was one of many. There was about 50 bodies lying there, all on the boat, around the boat, and peeking out of holes in the boat.
It made the boat look like some sort of many tentacled octopus. It was horrible, but at the same time, I couldn't look away. And then I heard in my dive computer through the intercom, I heard one of my crew members on the surface saying, "What are you doing? Get out of there right now. You need to get out." And I knew that no matter what I said, even with them up there, they wouldn't get me out in time.
I debated on radioing back to let them know the situation, but I thought more about the many hands all around me. They kept moving, swaying left and right, but I couldn't tell if it was actual movement or if it was the ocean current moving them around. It was a weird little dance they were doing. So I had to, it was rhythmic and it was pretty. So I had to look further. I almost wanted to become part of it. There was something beautiful about it, hypnotizing even.
I really appreciated this would be the last image I would see. I had been horrified, but now I was strangely mesmerized. There was a rhythm to it, there was a dance to it. And as I got closer, I could hear them singing. And I quickly realized that they didn't want to drag me down to kill me. They wanted me to tell their story and help them move on.
Scurrying, I grabbed my GoPro and swam all around the boat, recording every portion of it that I could, trying to get as many of the bodies as I could. When I could, I zoomed in on faces. Sometimes they were disfigured or hidden or buried, but where I could, I took shots of their faces. There was a story here. There was so much more. And suddenly I sort of felt relieved, like maybe I could survive this, like there was magic in play.
My idea that there was magic in play was further confirmed when my light glanced across the side of the boat and I saw the name. It was beautiful. It was wonderful, and I realized that there was a date next to it as well. It didn't say 2025. It didn't even say 2005. It said 1885. And I realized that there is no way that there would still be bodies there. So that magic, whatever was keeping them in place, might just help me make it back to the surface as long as I could get everything on camera and make sure that the people who had died here would get their stories told.
Even more surprising about the date was that the boat was modern. It had modern sails. It didn't look like a boat from the 1800s, and it was in pretty good shape, not a boat that would be sitting at the bottom of the ocean for centuries. I swam to the front and filmed it. And right in the front was one of the most horrific, yet somewhat surprisingly beautiful thing I'd ever seen. There was bodies strapped to the front with anchors, limbs separated and floating upward.
And I realized that something horrible must have happened for these people to be strapped to the front like that. And whatever had happened, if they were the ones to be punished, everybody had been punished along with them. I didn't think that was right. And as I looked up from the horrid sight, I saw there was the bridge. And even though I was a deep sea diver, I was also very well versed in how to pilot boats. So I swam right into the bridge and I thought, this is in pretty good shape. Maybe I can get her up again.
So I started the boat, and a boat underwater uh, steered. I was able to turn the wheel, and it turned. I uh, I found a lever. It was gold and strange. I'd never seen one on any boat before. I pulled it, and all of a sudden, the water started sucking away from the boat, just vacuuming out of it. It was the craziest thing I'd ever seen. I could feel the force of the suction pulling the water away.
It was almost something biblical, and I started to feel like I was put down here for a very, very good reason because it only took a light touch of that lever and everything started happening. The water was being sucked away and the boat started rising. It rose and rose and rose until I could start to see a glimmer of sunlight when I thought that I would never see sunlight again.
I turned around, hoping that anyone could see this besides me. I wasn't even paying attention to my camera anymore. And what I saw shocked me. All of the bodies that had been hanging everywhere, limbs flailing and with the current, were changing color, becoming more flesh colored again, as if they were coming back to life.
And as I reached the surface, the people around me started speaking. They started saying, "Thank you so much for saving us. Thank you. We never thought we would be able to come back to Earth. We were cast down here a really long time ago, and we were just waiting for somebody stupid enough to come back down here and raise us because we're about to bring the apocalypse."
So I went from being pretty sure that I was going to die to being pretty sure that I just caused everybody's death. As the boat hit the surface, we were about 10 yards away from the boat that I had jumped down from in the first place. My crew was standing in awe watching us rise from the depths. I went to scream for them, but a hand covered my mouth and pulled me down. And then there was bodies on top of me everywhere. While they had come back to life, they were still covered in the sea's slime and funk, and I could feel it all over my body.
And as I started to suffocate from the piling on of bodies, I realized that there was an important message here, important lesson I needed to learn. Maybe don't raise ghost ships because you never know when you're going to bring about the next apocalypse.
Especially now that I think about what name I saw on the side of the boat. It was
It was.
it was
Here comes the rapture.
it was yes.
It was Here Comes the Rapture, and I really should have known that. At the time, I thought it was beautiful, but now I realize that it was just world ending, and I really needed to start taking things more literally. That's always been my problem. That's how I wound up in this deep sea dive in the first place. I thought I was just being assigned to look at fish, and now here I am, and I've ended the world, and I'm really sorry.
And as they dragged me to the back of the boat to throw me into the depths again, I saw that little fish that I'd been filming in the beginning. and at least I got a good look at him before I went.
Yay! I think that's good.
That was fun. That was a lot of fun. I was worried like halfway through how we were gonna get that anywhere, but we did. Like how we were gonna pull all the stuff together.
Yeah, I really didn't know. As we were going, I don't know if you've ever read From Below by Darcy Coates, but that's what I started to think about. And I was like, how can we make this different from that book? That was good though. I liked that.
Yeah, that was fun.
We should come up with a title though.
Yes. Um, should we play off the classic short story? Um, is it a good day for banana fish? Is that the name of the short story?
I don't know. I haven't heard that one.
It's yeah, it's classic. I think it's called A Good Day for Banana Fish. So I think we should call it something
Hmm.
like
Okay. A
a
good
good
day.
day for rapture fish.
I like it. That's it. That's the title. I love it. Okay, well, that was fun. And that was super different from Nick's story.
Very.
I didn't even know where that was going in the beginning.
No,
I threw the apocalypse thing at you really out of the blue.
yeah, it was funny because as soon as it was like deep sea diving, I was like, I know literally nothing about this at all. Like I wouldn't be able to get into any of the like technical aspects of it at all. The
That's okay.
ocean is not my friend.
Yeah, no, I've never gone deep sea diving either, but I've been reading a lot of books lately that involve like hell or the apocalypse, so I guess that was just on my mind. Well, I don't know about you. I'm kind of hungry now. That was
And
fun, but like, there's a lot of anxiety and now I'm like, okay, I'm ready to eat. So, the surprise I made for you is a recipe based off of In the Eyes, in the Shadows.
all right.
So, for everybody at home, if you've read Gage's gripping new book, then I hope you will appreciate this rather unusual recipe with an unusual name. I call it roadkill fondue, which if you've read the book, you will understand. So, before everybody starts running away, when I say fondue, I'm not talking about like chocolate or cheese. I'm talking about taking some nice hunks of marinated meat and then dipping them into hot oil until they're like juicy and crispy. Does that sound good?
Yes.
Okay, so I actually wasn't able to test this recipe because if you're a purist, you're going to use venison. And my husband informed me that you can't just like go to the store and buy venison. Like somebody has to like procure it for you. We're not going to be doing that. So you'll just have to take my word that this is good. And if you, like me, don't have ready access to venison, then you can use steak just as well. And of course, the first thing you're going to do is cube your meat up, make your delicious marinade. It has red wine vinegar, ginger, garlic, brown sugar, soy sauce. Like it's very flavorful. You're going to let that get nice and cozy for 4 hours. Heat your oil in your fondue pot because we all have one of those, right? Then you're going to stab your fork into one of those delicious meat cubes and go ahead and dunk all of your sorrows while you dunk that meat into the oil. And then you cook it until you're happy with it. And then you go to town on that puppy. Or should I say deer?
That sounds awesome. And the deer is extra good with the story to go with the book.
Yeah. As I was reading that, I was like, this, if anything, it makes me not want to eat. But maybe there's something we can work with here. I'm a vegetarian too, so like even if I tested it, I would have to rely on other people to try it. But my father-in-law, who helped inspire this recipe, tells me that it's delicious. And I will be including this recipe in the show notes for those who want to enjoy the perfect meal while reading In the Eyes or any of Gage's other books.
Yes. And sign up for the Patreon. You can watch this and all episodes a couple days early, and there'll be the bonus content of the written version of
Yes.
our story.
Which I will do a little bit of cleaning up for, just for clarity's sake.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. There's a couple of ums in there.
Just a couple. It was really good. Like I know that we were both nervous, but we did a good job.
Yes, we did. You saved me on the boat name.
I feel like you saved me as well because there were some places where I was like, oh my gosh, I don't know. I don't know where this is gonna go. So it's tag team. Tag
Yeah,
team, right?
yeah.
Well, I know you already plugged Dread Pop, but where can people find you and keep up with you and your work?
Gage Greenwood, pretty much / Gage Greenwood on everything, or Gage Greenwood author on Facebook. But everything else is just / Gage Greenwood. My website is gagegreenwood.com. And of course, Dreadpop Magazine, which is patreon.com / Dreadpop Magazine, or @DreadPubNet on everything.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for doing this with me. Now you can tell everybody it's not that bad, right?
No, it's not. It's fun. You're a good host. You make it. You calm the people down very well.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I try. And I made up these prompts, but some of them are ones I'm super uncomfortable with. I don't really know anything about deep sea diving, or Nick and I did cosmic horror. I don't know anything about aliens. So
Yeah.
sometimes that's even more fun because you are
Right.
unburdened by experience.
Yes. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.